Travel nursing is rough right now. There is no candy coating it. I'm glad you're here though. I wanted to talk about some of this hard stuff and why things are the way they are, and then also maybe give you some tips and things that you can take to try to get through this or try to weather the storm as we go through another dip in what is travel nursing. So welcome back if you've been here already. If you're brand new, my name is John. I'm a travel nurse. I've been a nurse for 14 years in critical care. Been traveling for the last 5 with my family. We live in a giant trailer that we call Dorothy and travel all around the United States and take travel nursing contracts. And you know, it's been fun because just recently I was spoiled by my travel nurse agency who came to where we're at right now here in Phoenix. And we had what they call meet and greets, and it's super fun. But I got to talk to some of the recruiters about all the things that's happening right now, and I know you feel it because I feel it, so I thought we should talk about it. Well, what's happening right now is the rates are adjusting. The travel market is changing once again. What we're seeing is a surplus of nurses coming off of all of the COVID crisis contracts. We had a lot of need with patients and stuff like that, and so a lot of people jumped into the travel nursing world to try to, make some of that money and help out. But the need's not really there anymore. And also another thing about this is that the government funding that was given to those hospitals to help pay for all of this COVID stuff is gone. You see, the hospital systems, they're trying to figure out how they can do better in the future, right? Everyone's trying to adapt and learn from the pandemic. And one of the things that they're starting to do more of is create their own internal staffing agencies. So this is where they're taking nurses and they're saying, yeah, we'll give you more money. You might not, depending on the hospital system, have benefits, and you can float around to different departments. You're basically like a local travel nurse, except you get only paid about a third of what an actual travel nurse will make. And some people are jumping on that. Needless to say, it's definitely in a dip right now to be a travel nurse. But does that mean that we're in the end times? I don't think so. Stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to talk about the 3 states where the pay and the cost of living has the greatest distance. More pay, lower cost of living means that's where you might want to try to secure your next contract. I wanted to give you guys a few tips on things that I was told and that also from my experience might help you out. Number 1 is make sure you have a good agency and a credible recruiter that knows what they're doing, that you can trust to jump on the things when they need to be jumped on. There's one agency that I work with pretty much exclusively, and I have been with the same recruiter almost since the very beginning. Her name is Natasha Sage. She's fantastic. So if you have a good recruiter and a great agency that you're already set up with, great, I'm happy for you. If you're looking for one or in the market, please reach out to me. Shoot me an email at noordinarypath@gmail.com. We'll leave a description in the link below. We'll leave a link in the description below. The name of the game right now for those of you that are already in the travel nursing gig is extensions. If you have a travel nursing contract that you are on currently that is okay. I'm not talking about great. I'm not talking about the best one you've ever had. I'm talking about okay. It meets the needs. You've got living situations squared away, all that kind of stuff. Try to get an extension. It will hopefully get you through this lull that we're getting in. We're hoping to see contracts change and come back up for the summer season. As always, keep in mind how long you've been at that place. If you are taking the tax-free stipends, do not let yourself get over the 1-year mark and run the risk of moving your tax home. Nevertheless, if you are in a good position for it, that extension is going to be the easiest and best thing that you can do for yourself right now. If you do not have a contract and you are in the market for one, know your minimums. And what that means is, okay, the rates are going to be low right now. We all know that. They're going back to pre-COVID kind of numbers. And that's okay. A lot of us were travel nursing before COVID was ever a thing. It can still be done. Know where you can be so that if you have to duplicate expenses or whatever your housing costs or your monthly expenses are going to be, where can you go where you still feel confident enough to say, yes, I can take this much money. That way your recruiter can be on it and help weed out the stuff that you're not going to be able to take. Make sure that you set realistic expectations for what those minimums are. Finding contracts where you're gonna make $56 $100 a week ain't a thing right now. It's just not. We may get there again someday, but it's not gonna happen right now. Be flexible and open to other areas to travel with. There's not time to wait around right now. If there's contracts out there, they're gonna get snatched up quickly. So you have to be willing to say, okay, yeah, I'll go to this part of the country, or I'll go to that part of the country. If you have only a specific area, again, let your recruiter know, these are my minimums, this is where I'm willing to work, and that kind of stuff. My other tip for you is establish a relationship with that recruiter so that you feel comfortable enough to let them auto-submit you to things that just pop up. Because to be honest, sometimes when the recruiter gets a pay package and then they have to put it together and then send it to you and they're waiting on you to do whatever and get back to them, it could be gone already. So if it pops and they see it, they can immediately submit you to it as soon as possible. That way it will improve your chances, because some of these managers out there for these contracts are getting just hundreds upon hundreds of submittals. You need to get in quickly before the door closes. Patience and tenacity are going to be your biggest strong points here. Hold on, just bear with it. I'm hoping this will be a change. With every low comes kind of a high. You got the tides, they ebb and flow. What we need to do is just kind of get through this as a group, and that patience and that tenacity. If you were looking to get into travel nursing and you're brand new, this may be a harder time, but it doesn't mean that it's absolutely impossible. If you currently have a job that you're working in, my tip for you would be to stay in that job while you are setting everything up with your recruiter, knowing those minimums, and then submitting for contracts. You stay in your job until you've got that contract, then you can put in your 2 weeks and then you can move on. Having a savings account built up will be helpful too, but if you quit your job before you sign that contract, it's gonna be tough. For newbie travelers, it always takes a little bit longer to get that first one, because managers are gonna look at it and they're gonna see that you don't have experience traveling. That does have to be disclosed. So it always takes a little bit longer to get that first one in. That doesn't mean it's impossible though. If you want some other great tips and tricks and stuff like that, go to noordinarypath.com/travel nursing. We're gonna end this with those 3 states that I talked about earlier that have the higher pay and lower cost of living. If you can get a contract in one of these 3 states, it's probably gonna be worth your while. They may not be tourist destinations, but they will help you at least get your foot off the ground strong. Indiana, which also happens to be like one of the RV capitals of the world. We spent some time there in Elkhart. There's things to see there. You know, it might not be glorious. It's not Colorado, it's not California, but hey, it's good pay, low cost of living. Iowa is another one, same sort of thing, you guys. It's all about the cost of living and that ratio. And the last one is Ohio. Cue my Zennial with the Ohio jokes, you know, swag like Ohio. I'm too old to even know what that means, you guys. Nevertheless, yeah, those are 3 of the states that you can go to and probably do pretty well for yourself. So don't exclude them from your searches. Again, make sure you're talking with your recruiter, find those minimums, be realistic, stick it through. We'll get through this and it's still gonna be great. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up on the video, that helps us out a lot. And I really do hope to see you out there.